Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Des and today I am about 25 weeks pregnant with twins and about to take you through a pre and postnatal friendly Pilates reformer workout. Today's workout does include the box, however, it can easily be modified without. If you will be using a box, I want you to take your box and place it in the short box position in front of your shoulder blocks, and let's get started. All right, you guys. So we're gonna start today on just one heavy spring. So that's one red on this machine. We're gonna be kneeling, knees on the box and hands on your foot bar. So if you don't have a box, you'll just be kneeling on your machine and doing similar movements here. So right away, we wanna make sure that we're active through the belly, engaging, not letting it just drop out or sink into the low back. I want you to push away from the bar. Let's take some deep breaths, finding that neutral spine, slide the shoulders down, take an inhale, belly will drop a little bit, then exhale. Think about wrapping and lifting the belly button up without changing the spine. Good, again, inhale and exhale, wrap and lift the belly. We wanna keep weight into your knees. We don't have too much weight into our hands. A couple more breaths. Good. Activating that belly. Last one. Exhale. Lift. Now we're gonna let the carriage go out behind us just a little bit on the inhale. And then exhale. Pull it right back underneath you. We're not moving very far because we wanna keep those abdominals nice and engaged and avoiding any coning or like protruding through the center of the core. So if we go back too far, we might lose that abdominal connection. Keep it small. Inhale back, exhale. Think about sitting a little bit back towards those heels. Again, it's a very small range of motion. Inhale back, exhale. This is definitely like a focused exercise. We want to be really concentrated into those core muscles, opening and expanding the ribs, and then closing, lifting the belly button. Last two. Squeeze and lift. Good. One. Hold that carriage in towards the stopper, and then you're doing just a tiny pulse in and in. Pulsing the breath, keeping that weight down into your knees. Shoulder blades stay down, relax through the neck. Lift that core for 4 and 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, we're gonna take that carriage out just a little bit, just a couple inches. So you're kind of more like in a 4-point kneeling position. Then we're gonna do a tricep dip and a drop. It's just about halfway. Power back up. Good. Dip, back up. Meanwhile, we're keeping that belly button lifted, keeping those rib cage zipped together. Whew, this goes right into those triceps and deltoids on the back side. Just about a half tricep dip. And 5, 4, 3, keep that belly lifted, 2, and 1. Good. Bring the carriage all the way back in. Sit into like a little bit of a child's pose. Rocking side to side. All right, we're gonna step your feet down onto the carriage. We're gonna be onto the balls of your feet, but not super high. So you're not in a full high half toe, just enough that you get full range through your ankles. So if you need to step your toes forward at any point, you can do so. We want to be in a nice deep squat, hip distance apart. And again, weight down into your feet. Don't take too much weight into your arms. Roll those shoulders down and back. From here, we're gonna straighten your legs. So this is gonna be a nice deep hamstring stretch and then quad burn. So again, if you try to straighten up and it's too much on the hamstrings, that's where you wanna walk your toes a little forward. so that you're just barely lifting those heels off, but they're resting against the box for a little bit of support. And you can always go to a full flat foot as well. Sink it down, keep your spine nice and long, and then straighten up. Good. And if you can't get all the way straight, that's no big deal. We're just focusing on warming up the legs, burning through the quads, feeling those glutes, activating. Good. Check in with your belly. You're still lifting, kind of hugging around that baby, if you have a baby, or just hugging that transverse muscle. Good. I want that deep exhale through your mouth every time you straighten. 4, squeeze up on the knees. Weight down into the feet. 3, press those heels up against the box. 2, and 1. We're gonna come halfway down, pulsing it down. Think about really sticking that booty out. We don't wanna feel any tension here in the low back. Instead, lift through the core, take that tension into your quads. Pulse it. 5, it burns. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach it out straight and back down. Woo! Sit down on the box for a second. Give yourself a little shake, shake, shake. All right, we're staying on one heavy spring. Foot bars can stay where they are, or if it's uncomfortable on your hips, you can take your foot bar down one setting. I'm gonna leave mine up. I want you to kneel onto your carriage and flip yourself around here. So elbows will be onto the box. Slide those shoulders down. I'm gonna take my left heel onto the bar and slide my right knee up against the box so that you can press out from here into this long line. So lift your head to follow the line of your spine and then bring it back in. We want the belly to lift up away from the box every time you press. Inhale, it can expand. Exhale, pull that belly up and away. Leg is getting all the way straight is the goal. And again, we're pressing off of our heel. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Focusing on the hamstring and glute doing the work here. Good. So what we don't want is to kind of just relax and slouch that belly. And it depends if you're kind of in that last trimester, your belly might be even touching the box here. So we're just kind of trying to lift that tiny bit up away, keeping that transverse working. And if you don't have a box, you're just kneeling with your hands down or elbows on your shoulder blocks. Good. Big exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Every time, try to focus on the hamstring and glute doing the work. Big exhale. Slide the shoulders down. And 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come halfway in, pulse it down. Those quads are burning from that first exercise, so take your mind and focus it to the back side of the leg. Pulse. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach it out long and bring it back in. Good job. All right. Replace that knee down. If you kind of need to shift in your hips a little bit. I know they can get a little shifty if you're expecting. So just kind of find that center of gravity again and then switch to your opposite heel on. All right. Get into that position where you feel square, shoulders are relaxed and down again, and press out. Opposite knee is up against the box. Right leg is parallel down towards the floor. Good. We want to check that belly. Lift it up and away. Good. Check in with your head. Is it right in line with your spine? Good, you guys. Think hamstring and glute. Squeeze. Up at the top, you can squeeze and lift through that knee, engaging the quad, but think about where that energy and focus is coming from. Back side of the leg. And don't forget about your core lifting. Up away from the box every time you exhale out. 4 more. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3. Full press. 2. Pausing every time at the top. 1. Then halfway in, pulse it down. Good. Still focusing on that back side of the leg during these pulses. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach it out long and bring it back in. Woo, good job, you guys. Okay, again, kind of shifting those hips. Find that center of gravity. You are going to reach to find your straps. Grab both straps together and then carefully come up to a seated position on the box, flipping around. And then I like to keep both straps in one hand to switch my springs here. So we're going to switch to a medium tension spring, which is going to be a blue for this machine, and take off your heavy spring. So you're only on the one medium tension spring. And if at any point during this series you need a little more and you have that lighter spring, you can add on a light spring if you'd like. All right, so make sure your straps aren't crossed. Once you're there, seated, lifting up nice and tall, shimmy everything around, lifting tall through the belly and zip through the core. Shoulders are relaxed and down. Planting those feet, we're gonna exhale forward, inhale back. Good. So this might feel a little light to start, but we're going to be here for a minute. But again, add on that lighter spring, or you can even go up to a 1 heavy spring if you want a little more. Good. I want you to focus here on initiating through the core. So same thing. Inhale, expand the belly and ribs. Exhale, wrap and lift. So this is still going to be a core stabilizing exercise as we work through the arms. Yes. Lifting up nice and tall. 2. We're going to add it on into offering. 1. So now I'm going to bend the arms, reach it forward, hold. Now I'm going to open out to the side and close. Good. So if you don't have a box, you will just do this seated on your machine. And I would say similar weight for your springs. You may be able to go a little higher being seated up to that 1 heavy. Open, close, and back down. If you're feeling tight hip flexors here in this seated position, just cross your feet and continue in this position. It's going to relieve some of that tension. Open, close, and back. Good. We're wanting to stay nice and tall. Reach, open, close, and back. Good. It's a little lighter here, so we're gonna keep going up the reps just a little bit. Again, I wanted you to be able to concentrate just as much on that core initiation. Last 3. 2. And 1. We're gonna keep it halfway out here and go little circles, just out and around. So think about opening through the chest, sliding those shoulder blades down. And 3. Shake out through the neck. 2. And 1. We're just staying to the outside here. So now we're gonna pull those elbows in to prepare. We're gonna reach those arms forward. Flip the palms down so that the ropes are on top of your arms. We're gonna do a little hinge forward, so if you need to widen your legs to let your belly drop through, you can. Elbows are gonna go out to the diagonal and reach back out. So if you're letting your belly drop through the legs, don't forget about it though. Inhale, expand, you'll kind of press against those legs, and then lift the belly, feeling that wrapping sensation. And you might be able to feel your core kind of tightening if you can feel it up against your legs. Press those elbows out. Good. If you have the range in your shoulders, you can take your arms all the way behind your head, as long as we're not flaring through the rib cage. Good. And if your ropes are rubbing on your shoulders, just change the angle of your elbows. Good. And 5, 4, good, 3, and 2, lift up on the belly, 1, forward and down, good. Give yourself a little shoulder roll, shake out those arms. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna drop both my straps here and flip my box into the long box position. So I'm gonna come over to this side so I can start with this strap over here. I'm gonna flip my box into the long box position, so do that carefully. If you're expecting, nice and squared off. All right, then we're gonna go to a seated position on the box. Grab a hold of your strap, and again, you'll just sit crisscrossed if you don't have a box. So we're still just on that medium tension spring. And the further you slide this way, the harder the tension will be. So you can kind of go guide from there. But also if you need more range, slide closer to the foot bar. We're just gonna go straight into a side twist. And then lifting nice and tall. And back. Good, we want the strap to be in line with your sternum. And it's gonna stay in that line. So again, you can cross your feet to relieve tension in the hip flexors, if you're getting that there. Or planting those feet down in a little bit wider stance. Good. Big exhale. Try to keep the shoulders down, away from the ears. Feeling that opposite oblique here. Kind of wrapping and tightening. 4 more. Open and expand the belly. Close and wrap. 3. Breathing is going to be your best friend here, especially if you're expecting or postpartum, to help either heal or keep those abdominals as intact as possible, to be able to protect the low back and protect from excessive separation. Last one. Yes, good, you guys. Okay, we are going to take this strap. It's going to go onto your foot that's closest to the foot bar. Right there, yeah? And then use your hands to kind of take yourself into a side lying position. I'm going to take my bottom hand down onto the headrest to help me get into this position. You'll just go full side lying if you don't have a box. But here, I'm going to either be here with my hand down with a soft elbow, or rest my elbows onto my shoulder blocks. You can also slide down a little more, rest your bottom elbow onto your box. Or, last thing here, you can be all the way down here, kind of resting your elbow on the headrest or on the shoulder blocks. All right, sorry, here we go. Set up, we got it. We're gonna bend and straighten. So just kind of pick your poison where you feel most comfortable, where you can be in a nice long line, and then I'm gonna bend and straighten. Lifting the bottom side up away from the box, relaxing both shoulders down. Bend and straighten out. We want hips to be equal and stable. Good. Same thing. Expand the belly, initiate, and then squeeze through the glute. So if you start to feel neck tension, adjust your angle. Sometimes looking down helps, or you can take that position resting your hand on your head. 2, good, and 1. Now we're gonna kick it forward. It's a kind of a half range kick, and back. I'm feeling it. If you need to pinch the rope right away, do it. If you need a little bit of assistance, but we're going like halfway, only as far as you can maintain hip stability without tucking or changing through your spine. Also pulling hamstring and glute, not the back of the knee. Just 4. It burns fast, I know. 3, 2, and 1. Woo, pull that in, and then bend your knee in. Woo, that burns. Stacking the knees, rolling the shoulders down. I'm going into a clam to finish here. Open and close. Good. Open and close. So again, if you have the space, keep your open and close. You're just coming down to here. I'm resting my elbow right on that shoulder block, and it's definitely going to support your head a little bit more. So don't give up if that neck tension is taking over. And then, but we're almost there. Open and close. Woo! Burns. Breathe. 4 and 3, 2. Hold it open on 1. Lift that bottom side. Hold, hold, hold. Just opening up through that hip. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Woo-hoo. Burn, burn, burn. All right, carefully take that foot out of the strap. Drop it. Actually, keep a hold of it. Don't listen to me. Just kidding. All right, we're gonna keep a hold of that strap. Shake out that arm. In other words, that's a lot of shoulder stability. We're gonna flip to the back and grab your opposite strap before we go to the other side. So you can sit with your feet wide here if that feels better and might give you more range of motion, or you can sit with your feet narrow, depending on what feels best. Roll those shoulders back, lift nice and tall, and then exhale, plow back and release. So I know that right shoulder might feel a little more fatigued than the left after that stability work. We're gonna hit the opposite shoulder in a second. So again, right away, as we expand back, I want your belly to wrap in the opposite direction. Wrap and lift the belly, and then glide it forward. So if you need more range, you can always choke up on the ropes as well. And if you're not on a box, you can just be seated with your feet through on the carriage. Try to not change your spine. Good. Expand the ribs and belly. Exhale, wrap. 3 and 2. Good. And hold it back there on 1. We're just holding it there. We're gonna look to the right, look to the left, and right, left, trying to stay as relaxed as we can through the neck. Right and left, open that chest, wrap the belly. Right and left, find your center, let it come forward, give yourself a little shoulder roll. Awesome. Lifting up nice and tall here. We're gonna take the straps forward and we're gonna pull, reaching the opposite arm forward, and then come back to center. So if you wanna be choked up a little bit here, you can. And back. We wanna think about retracting the scapula of the arm that's pulling back and protracting, reaching forward with the opposite arm, but trying to keep the hips square. And back. Good. So if you wanna still, again, be in a wider stance here, whatever's gonna be most comfortable for your situation, you can, and helps you be as tension-free as possible through the lower body. Good. Exhale, rotate. Reach and forward. Couple more. Reach and pull. And pull. 2 more each side. Keeping those hips nailed down on the carriage. And 2. 1. Good. Find your center. You're going to slide those hands back down. Slide back if you'd like for a little bit more range. And you're going to bicep curl. It's going to feel a little bit lighter. So if you want to choke up right away, you can. Curling those arms or slide back further on the box. Just don't go too far that you are going to fall off the box. Exhale. Initiate from the core as you bicep curl those arms. Make sure we're not hunching in the chest. We want to stay nice and lifted. Still keeping that activation through the core. And wrists stay right in line. Exhale, 4. Good. And 3. Big exhale, 2. And 1. Hold it in there. Little pulses with that curl. 8. 7. Shake out the tension in the neck. 6. Tight through the core. 5. 4. 3, 2, 1, and release the arms. Good, you guys. All right, drop that left strap or the strap on the side that we already worked, depending on which way you started. Then we're gonna flip to the other side for our side twist and our glute work. So find your center, roll those shoulders down and back, nice and tall, rotate towards the pulleys, and then exhale, rotate towards your foot bar. Yes, good, you guys. We want our shoulders to stay equal here, planting both sits bones down equally into the box. Wrapping through the belly, really using that oblique that's closest to your foot bar on this one. Big inhale, expand. Exhale, wrap and rotate. Good. And 4, 3, growing that spine nice and tall. 2, 1, and release. Good job, you guys. Okay. Take that strap, place it onto your foot that's closest to the foot bar now, and then carefully getting into your side lying position. Assist holding the rope. You're gonna drop your opposite hand or lower hand down onto the headrest to help you kind of scoot your hips down. And then I'm gonna take my elbow down onto the shoulder blocks. Slide that booty down. Find that long, long line through your spine. And then you're gonna bend and straighten. Bend and straighten here. So if you can see better now from this back side, I can have my hand down on the headrest or elbow down on the box, the shoulder blocks. Yep, or bending and straightening. So keep moving here as I'm showing you this. Or I'm laying all the way down, helping assist with those shoulder blocks down. Or last option is removing the box and doing just a regular side lying press. Good, we want space underneath this side. Hips are stacked. It's so good to work our hips and glutes if we're expecting or postpartum, because there's so much movement in the pelvis. We want to have that support and strength. 3, 2, shake out the head if you're feeling that tension. 1, hold it there. We're kicking it forward just about halfway, pulling it back from the hamstring and glute. Forward and back. Check that bottom shoulder. Use the bottom lat to support you. Use the belly to help pull that leg in. Ooh, it burns right away. Make sure we're pulling not from the back of the knee. 3. Assist with that rope, pinching the rope if you need it. 2. Last 1. Pull it in. Ooh, and stack the knees. Ooh, my hip is burning on that side. All right, we're going right into clams. Open and close. Stacking the knees. Open and close. Good. Check the head, look down. If you need to relieve, I'm feeling a little tension in the neck, relax the shoulders down. Butterflying that knee open. And 4, 3, check with the core. 2, and 1. We're gonna just hold it open here. Hold, hold, hold. Deep breaths. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. Ooh, man. Burn, burn, burn. Okay, we can drop that strap all the way down. Carefully come all the way up to seated. Awesome. We are gonna hop off and flip your box back into your short box position in front of the shoulder blocks. And switch your springs back to 1 heavy spring. All right, you can always take this down to a medium tension spring at any point if the one heavy feels like a lot. So hands are gonna be onto the bar. I want flat feet. So this is where if it feels like a little too intense on the stretch on the hamstrings, you can come up to the balls of your feet, or you can take that spring tension down a little bit, because we're gonna do an elephant. And I don't want you to feel pressure through the back of the knee. Instead, I just want to feel that yummy stretch through the hamstring after all that movement we just did. So relax down, but the box definitely forces us into a deep stretch here. So back, inhale, exhale, pull back in. You can stop the carriage about right underneath your hips and soften through your knees just a little bit, and that'll help you feel a little bit more stretch too and help you get into a flat back. Pulling that belly up, 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 and in. Good. Breathe. Feels so nice on the hamstrings. Try not to change through the spine or tuck through the tailbone. Your main goal is to just keep that flat back. Working that deep transverse muscle as we stretch the hamstrings and glutes. So again, come up to the balls of the feet and stay soft through those knees to help kind of relieve if this stretch is too intense. Just 3 more. And exhale, 2. And 1. Awesome, you guys. Okay, shake it out just a little bit. You can kind of round through your spine. All right, we're gonna take your left foot onto the silver runner off to the left side, and right foot is gonna go right in the center of the box, and I'm gonna be nice and tall and lifted. Sorry, hands are gonna stay on the bar. We're gonna just roll those shoulders down. I'm gonna push my right leg back to a full lunge and then pull it back in. Exhale. Bring it back and in. This is gonna be your last set here. Just the last set for our legs to finish. Exhale out, bring it back in. Squeeze at the back, squeeze the booty, squeeze the quad. Good. Press full range, just 5. Long, long spine, 4. 3, lift the belly. 2, 1. We're gonna bring the leg halfway in here, Pulse it in, feeling those quads, feeling the hip flexors a little bit. Pulse 5, 4, 3, long spine, 2, 1. Reach it out to finish. Bring it back in. Woo! Feeling that burn. Okay. Step onto your carriage with both feet to kind of move over to the other side. Right foot onto the silver runner. Left foot down on the center of the box. And sorry, I didn't say, if you don't have a box, you're just putting your foot either on the center, or you can step off to the side and put your foot against the shoulder block. Long spine. Good. Last set here, you guys. Breathe. It burns. And burn it out. Exhale. Keep those hips nice and square. Use the foot bar to support you and help you roll those shoulders down and back. Lift the belly. And 3. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze every time. 2. And 1. Halfway in. Pulse it in. And in. It burns that quad, I know. But again, so good to work our hips in all these directions. Have that strength. Pulse 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach it out to finish. And bring it back in. Beautiful job, you guys. All right, I'm gonna stay on this side. Going into our cool down, we're gonna take your left knee. I want your knee to drape off of the box so that you're not getting into that kneecap at all against the box. Your knee drapes off the box. Then you're gonna push back into a single thigh stretch back. If this is just uncomfortable, you can't find the right spot for your knee, then just take the box off and do a regular single thigh stretch. But I'm gonna pull it in and underneath me, keeping my hips square. Inhale, exhale, slide the shoulders back and take that leg back behind me. Good. Check in with your belly. It's still kind of trying to lift away from that front leg. 1 more, bring it in. Exhale back. Good. And bring that leg underneath you as you straighten your front leg. We're gonna kind of sit back towards your back foot and pull your knee underneath you as you straighten the front leg, getting into that hamstring stretch. So again, my knee is draped off the box here, so I don't have any pressure in that area. Good. All right. Carefully put your weight onto your right foot, then take that foot down, move yourself, walk over to the other side. Now right knee drapes off the box, and then I'm gonna send it back there into that single thigh stretch. Going as deep as you want to here, just make sure that you don't overdo it. We don't wanna overstretch in that area. Bring it in. So just stretch where it feels good and that you can stay connected through your core. Awesome, you guys, bring it in and out. Hold this last one and bring it in and underneath you, sitting back towards your heel, flexing and hinging forward towards that front leg. So good. Last deep breath, good. Put your weight into that left foot. Now we're gonna just sit down on the box, both feet down, lifting up nice and tall. I want both sits bones to plant down into the box, and then we're gonna lift your right arm and stretch over to the left side, still really just pressing down into the box with your right hip, and then lift up through the center, other side. Good, 1 more time each side. Inhale up, exhale over. And again. Good, lift up through the center. Take your hands behind you, opening up through your chest and shoulders. If clasping your hands together is too much, you can just kind of open through the chest. Good. We're gonna grab onto the bar and kind of just lift and hinge back. If your bar lifts up, you can lift up from here and kind of just sink side to side. You can kind of just move through your spine, whatever feels good. I know you can kind of feel like you don't have a ton of room if you're as far along as me. All right, drop that down. Let's step off to the side still for a final roll down. My favorite, free of any equipment. Big inhale, exhale, roll it down, and let yourself just hang at the bottom. Deep breath. Good, soften through your knees, and when you're ready, start to roll all the way up. Head comes up last. And roll those shoulders back to finish. And you guys are done. Woo! I hope that you enjoyed this workout, whatever your situation might be. And if you did, please hit that like button, shoot me a comment, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Also, follow me on Instagram for more fun and workout content. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much.